bumpy ride over the next few months.
He says young people not following social distancing guidelines are primarily behind the rise.
Here's the second wave, what they've been blagging us with.
So the virus has spread more quickly
it hasn't spread.
among younger people.
100%, folks.
Just over 21%
I know what they're doing.
Virus cases were in their 20s.
Don't forget, they warned us 2 months ago.
25%. The week
A little bit more than that, possibly. That we'd get a second wave in the fall. Not very hard to predict. You know why. The common cold is going up, and they're using COVID as the common cold replacement. Very simple. Very, very simple.
Able to leave or enter the borough without good reason.
So the local
Listen at this shit, man.
Are that we're going to ask everyone to wear face coverings in indoor settings such as shops. We're going to be asking people, we're going to be telling people that the extended
disgraceful
coming to an end within Caerphilly County Borough.
Yeah, they're ramping it up 100%.
And feelings are mixed about the changes.
I think it's good, really. You know,
I think it's good.
React early to
listen
to err on the side of caution.
What a dickhead.
NHS is fine. That's the only reason for lockdown in the first place, to stop the NHS being overloaded, and there's no need to.
And it's not
Who are these fools?
that's causing concern. In the west of Scotland, restrictions have now been expanded to Renfrewshire and East Dunbartonshire. Also,
coronavirus has been around for years. It's a common cold. It's a cold, it's a flu.
Coronavirus cases in young adults.
That's why they told you you'd get a second wave in the fall. That second wave's arriving because everyone gets a cold in the winter.
About this new spike in cases.
I've got a cold, right, as an example.
Will be a major wake-up call.
If I'd have gone to the doctors, without a doubt, 100%, I put my life on it. They'd have tested me and said I've got isolated for 14 days, I've got a fucking coronavirus.
To not just stay at home, obviously to go out and go to work and to enjoy pubs and restaurants, but do so in accordance with the guidelines, because although
guidelines, what are guidelines when it's all a fraud?
On to others, and that's the message that we're asking people to pay particular heed to at the moment.
Who the hell's he?
Susan Mickey is a professor of health psychology and sits on the SAGE committee of scientific advisors. She says the government messaging is confusing.
On the one hand,
it isn't confusing. It's one big fucking con.
Go back to what you were doing before. On the other hand, they're being told.
It's only confusing to the idiots who can't see through the fucking bullshit.
In bits and pieces, has been changing. Is different in the different nations, and a lot of people, especially young people, the data show, have got very confused about what it is.
Wish I had my camera with me last night. I went to my local takeaway and I was having a talk for at least 20 minutes to these Turkish lads. Where I went and get a pizza, and both these lads agreed with everything I said. There was, every time I said something what was a great positive, they were smiling and pointing the finger saying, yeah man, you're right, yeah, that's it, you're right.
And trust in the government, especially in young people,
both of them,
plummeted after
in the Turkish language,
and then we continue to
talking in English, he says, bullshit, that's the bullshit.
Boris Johnson and other ministers
yeah, he's fucking right.
50 people.
He is bullshit.
The maximum was 29. And this doesn't send out the kind of message that we are all in this together.
I wish to God I had me. No, we're not all in it together.
And I think this.
You're in dreamland. You're in your dreamland together. All your mask wearers, door clappers.
Turn round and point the finger. And
then there's us, truthers, who can see through the lies. So we're not in it together.
We had one member of staff last week who was unwell, went for a test on Thursday. We had a positive test result on Friday. She didn't mix with any of the children. Children didn't come in till after she'd been in school. Over the weekend, we then had 7 further
100%, folks. Here's your second wave. You see it.
And on Sunday, with advice with public health, as a precautionary measure,
all the fakers involved are ramping it up.
Yesterday, to really check that all the contacts could be traced. We found 16 staff who had contacts with any of the 8 staff. And
sick, evil people running this planet, man. Children. Sick, evil people.
Those children and staff have been asked to self-isolate. Many staff.
It's all predictable.
And so the school...
I've already said in previous videos, the second wave will come.
Tomorrow,
And now they're ramping it up.
How many staff will be needing to self-isolate?
And I do believe, without looking up any facts,
how many pupils and how many kids
that the
are having to...
coronavirus has been around for years.
We know how many children...
Because it's a flu virus.
130 children.
And that's why they've selectively used it as the virus. Because they know they can manipulate it, and they're going to use this year's cold flu strain when people get the cold,
130 odd pupils who are having to
replace it with COVID.
They came into contact with teachers who tested positive.
That's correct, but no child has yet had any symptoms to suggest that any of them have yet.
You won't hear of anyone getting a fucking common cold this year. It'll be COVID.
I mean, they may not get symptoms. I mean, will those... is there any intention for those kids to be tested, or they just stay at home?
In theory, I've got COVID now, haven't I? According to government statistics.
Have a test unless there are symptoms.
Because I've got a cold.
Do you understand the logic of that, just out of interest?
So the advice we're given is that to have a test without symptoms that comes back negative isn't necessarily of a great help to people. Certainly that's the advice.
Not a great help to the globalists. They want a positive. Got to boost the numbers. The numbers must be boosted up.
Suggesting that people should get a test. So
how do you fear a population without boosting the numbers?
Very much that it hasn't
in preparation for a vaccine.
So far, since Friday, we've not had any indication.
That's what it's all about, folks.
And help me out more if you can, Mr. Coulson. When they
got to fear the people.
A kid with no symptoms.
How do you sell a vaccine if no one's shitting themselves?
Isn't particularly helpful. Why not?
It's not a reassurance that the child may not still acquire, or not just a child or an adult getting a negative test.
A child. Oh, did he slip up there then?
Yeah.
And then he said, well, not necessarily a child, maybe even an adult.
A reassurance that you haven't got the virus.
Is that news to the one-liner? Is he from time before? It was all youngsters, was it?
4 or 5 days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Changed his tone.
Well, good luck when the school reopens tomorrow, and I hope everyone gets better. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Hope everyone gets better. No, up with them.
In Suffolk. Right, let's bring you the headlines here on BBC News. Ministers say the UK is entering a period of particular concern as the number of coronavirus cases rise across the
Hear it from me, folks.
Brexit
Bullshit.
negotiators from the EU and the UK meet today.
Do not fear the virus, because there isn't fucking one. We all get a fucking cold in winter.
Opposition figure Maria Kolesnikova has been detained.
We all get a cold in winter, and that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Circumstances are unclear.
It's going to start boiling my fucking piss, this shit. Winding me up to shit. Because it just does, doesn't it? Because you know what they're doing.
Mykonos have been added to the UK government's list of destinations which will now require a period of self-isolation on return to England. The rest of Greece remains open to quarantine-free travel after the Transport Secretary here, Grant Shapps, announced that he now has sufficient...
I'd like to know what this Victoria really thinks about it.
Wales
is she a COVID idiot? Just reading out, or just reading out the scripts, knowing what's going on?
Theo Harris, who is Greece's tourism minister. Hello to you.
Hello.
Thank you for talking to us. What do you think of this latest decision from the Westminster government in the UK?
Well, it's in our view unfortunate decision because certainly the headline data, the yardstick.
Every decision, pal, is made for a reason.
And publicly has said that 20 cases per 100,000 people. We're certainly well below that, and if anything, moving in the opposite direction way. I remind you, we are on 13 cases per 100,000 in the last 7 days.
Sorry, just to stop you there, I'm so sorry. What, on those 7 islands, you are 20 cases per 100,000 or below?
In most of the islands, we have shared all the information. I can come back with exact figures. I don't have the 7 islands.
Right, but is it below 20? Is it below 20? That's the key thing.
In many of those islands, yes, of course.
Why do you think the UK government's made this decision then? Because that doesn't make sense, because 20 per 100,000 is the threshold for imposing quarantine.
Well, the rules for the UK government's decision are obviously their own, so I cannot go into those details.
No, I know. But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, and you're agreeing.
You know what? They can't even get a hoax right, can they? This
So I'm
government.
asking you, what do you think's going on?
All the way through this, people are asking questions. Hang on, this don't add up. That don't add up. This ain't right.
What I'm saying is that we are providing all the data that
They can't even get an hoax right.
We are still committed to ensuring
That's
that
how bad they all are.
We provide a safe experience as much as possible.
Some of us can see through your lies.
To impose restrictions.
Those who can be bothered and care to look things up on the internet.
Success, because many cases we brought the numbers down. And
as much as we could try and retrieve, because everything's being bloody censored.
Bringing the cases down. So that's certainly, we feel we're doing everything we can to safeguard both our citizens and our visitors in terms of their health and safety.
Okay. Why won't you comment on the decision by the UK government?
Well, there is no reason to get into that. All I'm saying is that we have an open and transparent policy. We're sharing information with the UK government, and of course, it's a sovereign right of every government to make
sovereign right of a government.
Thank you.
Did you hear that?
We appreciate it.
Oh, the government's got a right, sovereign.
Greece's tourism minister.
Oh, but fucking the people of the country haven't. God, what a fuck.
The European Union will meet in London today to resume talks for a
I tell you something, the cheek.
Brexit is back on the agenda. It comes after the Prime Minister Boris Johnson pledged to walk away from
sovereign right of the government.
Is reached by October the 15th.
The sovereign rights of the people is being eroded, huh?
Chief Negotiator Lord Frost has said there is still time to agree a deal. Let's get the latest from Westminster with our